Hello and welcome back to Cut It With a Hammer. In today's episode we're going to finish making the Fritz Franz jig for my Hammer B3. So we've got a little bit of work to do, so let's go ahead and get started. So here I'm cutting a little bit off the runner. Here I'm going to notch out the hard maple on the end so that the slot will fit all the way to the end of the board. I've got a shoulder plane and clean up just a little bit. Do the same thing on the big piece. Here I either didn't get a good cut started or my lines weren't quite straight, so I had to take a chisel and start a new line to cut on. And here I'm finally cutting the base of the maple so it goes right up to the blade. Just a little trim. I'll go ahead and glue on the strips. No, for some reason I always do the little one first, then the big one. And here we're marking up the top piece of plywood so we can go over to the saw and cut it up. And here I'm going to use my first Fritz Franz to go ahead and hold this piece while I rip a little piece off of it. And now it's time to glue it all together. Here I cut the pieces for the stop blocks. I'm just going to make a couple out of wood. So I'm making square pieces, basically 2-inch square pieces. I had some curly maple I was going to use for part of it, and then I just had this piece of poplar, I believe. But here again, I'm using the original Fritz Franz. I'm cutting sandpaper with a sticky back to fit on the face of the Fritz Franz, so it holds the pieces better. My original one doesn't have any, and sometimes the piece twists a little bit, so hopefully this will be it. Cut a little just more narrow than I need to be. Trim up the end, and there was a little bit hangover on the bottom, so I trimmed that off as well. I'm going to put runners on the stop blocks so they go in the channel, so just glue those on. This is how those came out. Just make sure they fit nice in the runner or in the slot. And then I mark them up so I can drill a hole in the stop block, and I somehow missed the record button when I was drilling those out. So basically I took a Forstner bit, made a big circle so the head of the bolt will fit in there, and this is how they came out. This is after I've already finished them and everything, so this was actually at the end of the project. So here I'm putting the measuring tape in. Go back over the saw. We'll just cut this piece a random length and then measure that piece and then adjust the tape underneath of it to match what the reading is. And then adjust the stop block a little bit, make another cut, and double check it. Looks good. And here it is after I've shellacked them with a couple layers of shellac. And now putting the handle on, that is the last thing to do. They were a little bit loose, but after I put a couple of coats of shellac on, they tightened up in the slot on the table saw. So here I am, I'm going to cut a piece that's 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 1/8. There you go. So, another shop project done. I'm quite happy the way this turned out. I seem to be putting more effort into my shop projects than I used to. And I've decided it's because it gives you more practice doing the skills that you would need on a regular project, so you might as well practice on a shop project. I'm looking forward to getting lots and lots of use out of them. There's a couple minor things that could be improved, but overall I'm pretty happy. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 videos. If you like this type of content, please subscribe and like. Put some comments or some questions down below, and we'll see you in the next video.